We're just going to draw a box. We'll bevel it. We'll shift it to live. And let's take this moment to radial array it around the 3D cursor. Maybe to an amount that mirrors equilaterally. And this is basically our result. So the goal was to intentionally create a situation that has some sort of shading. Like with every cylinoid, I try to create some sort of shading scenario to discuss. So for this one, let's say we're just trying to solve it and go to lunch. That's it. It's solved. However, we could also topologically solve it, dice it, mirror it around, re-radial it, then re-merge it, and just get a nice forming piece. But I realize now that we could also aim for a much quicker video. So I'm going to use Everscroll to bring back that boolean, and we're going to choose to shift it, which will give us the slice version back. So sometimes I'll cut a difference and then I'll get back a slice just in case I want it. In this case I do. And what I want to do with this particular piece is, first of all, smart apply it. Let's remove the bevel. And with this particular piece, we see that it doesn't even have enough geo to hold on what it's trying to do, but let's just Control I and get rid of everything else except the real piece. And I'm just going to Control click on radial array, and we're going to re-radial this. And that's because whenever I press D and I go into Boxcutter and I begin cutting it, I actually want the cuts to take to the other pieces. So I was thinking about it for a moment. I was like, yeah, I probably should go ahead and deal with that. And cutting from that angle, we see that some of these things could probably be a little bit straighter. Let's deal with that. Sometimes I'll bring back a cutter and just make modifications to it, just seeing what can be done with it as far as dealing with it. But really, the situation isn't the worst. We can just leave it, but we do want this piece to mirror across properly, so that way it looks equal on all sides. And we'll perform a cut here, and so far so good, and that will wrap up the back end.